Hey everyone, welcome back to another video with me. In this episode of our Slow English podcast, I'm gonna talk about job interviews and the words and the phrases you need when you're taking part in a job interview. So, if you have a job interview in upcoming days or months, and it's in English, this video in slow English is for you. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. So, I want to start this video with a personal story of mine. When I had a job interview in English and I didn't know much English. And let me tell you, I was really nervous. Not because I didn't know the answers, but because I didn't know how to say the answers in English. I remember the day exactly. I just finished my university. I was excited and hopeful, but also scared. I had applied for a teaching job at a private English institute. But here was a twist. The whole interview was in English. Yes, I had been studying English for some years, but I was struggling to speak it. I was confident in grammar and I could write well, but speaking in a high pressure situation like this, oh my god, I would have been dead. So, the night before the interview, I sat down and I started to write some common questions that they might ask in an interview of me. And the questions were, tell me about yourself. What are your strengths and weaknesses? Why do you want this job? What are your long-term goals? So, I wrote them down and I practiced for many hours in front of the mirror. I was talking to myself and practicing these questions and the possible response I could give to them. So, I was trying to sound confident, polished, and professional. But deep inside, I was really scared. What if I forget one word? What happens then? And what if they ask me something and I don't understand it? What then? What's going to happen? The next morning, I went to the interview with my best clothes on. And let me take you to the interview room. There were two people, the head teacher and another interviewer. They smiled and said, "Good morning, please have a seat." And I said, "Good morning, thank you very much." And I sat down nervously. They asked me, "So, can you tell a little bit about yourself?" Well, I've been practicing this question many times, so fortunately I was happy and I said, "Hi, my name is Kamand and I recently graduated in English teaching field. I'm passionate about teaching and I love helping students speak confidently in English." So, this part was easy. Then they asked, "Why do you want to work at our school?" And that's how I respond. I've heard great things about your teaching style, and I believe your school focuses on communication, not just grammar. That matches my approach as a teacher. So, this question, I had practiced it, so it was the easy one. Then came the scary part. What is your biggest weakness? At this time, I froze for a moment and then I put myself together and I said, sometimes I try to be perfect and it makes me to spend extra time on small and unnecessary tasks. But I'm learning to manage my time better. They smiled after hearing this, and I thought, okay, they liked my answer and I killed the interview. But then came the surprising part. They suddenly said, okay, I'm gonna give you a task. Imagine this. You're teaching at the classroom in a beginner level classroom. A student says, I go to the store yesterday. How would you correct them? Oh my god. A grammar mistake in the past tense and a situational question? I was freezed again. And that's how I respond. I would gently say, gently. Actually, the correct word is went. So, the correct form of the sentence is I went to the store yesterday. And then I would explain that the verb go is irregular in the past tense. So at this time, they nodded. And I could feel that I was getting more comfortable by answering more questions and trying to be confident, even if I couldn't come up with a 100% correct answer. It's an interview, it's not an exam. You have to be honest as much as possible, and you have to give the interviewer honest and gentle answers. So I'm gonna pause the story here, and now I'm gonna highlight some phrases, some key phrases you can use in your own interview. If you just finished university, you can say, I recently graduated in, and you can say your field. I recently graduated in English teaching. And the next phrase is, I'm passionate about. Thing here you have to say is what this job will offer you. I'm passionate about helping others. I'm passionate about teaching. I'm passionate about building confidence in English learners. Anything that you're passionate about and is related to the job you want to take. One of my strengths is, for example, I'm an organized person. Actually, this is not my strength. So one of my strengths is I like to communicate with people, and I think I can handle communications very well. One weakness I'm working on is being too detail focused. That's exactly me. I believe your company is a great fit because I've heard great things about your teaching style. because I know that you're doing your best to help people build their confidence. These phrases were flexible phrases. You can adapt them to your own personal situation and the company you want to interview with. Now let's go back to the story. After about, 20 minutes, they said, "Do you have any questions for us?" Keep in mind, this is really important part of an interview because when they ask you this, you have to ask them a question, you have to ask them something because that shows you are confident and you believe in yourself and what you want to do. So I asked them, "Yes, could you tell me a little bit about the team I'll be working with?" So this was a smart question, and try to ask smart questions from the interviewer as well. Because in this question, I showed them that I'm really hopeful for getting this job and I think I can make it. I think I'm gonna get the job. At this moment, they laughed and they didn't answer. They just said, "Thank you for coming. We will contact you soon." I think this part really stressed me out, but I was happy with the whole process. I was satisfied with what I did, with the words I chose, and I said, "So you should be doing the same." So I smiled, I shook their hands, and I walked out of the room feeling proud and smiling. The next day, I got a phone call. "Congratulations, we'd love to have you on our team." So I was on cloud nine. I was over the moon. I was so happy that I couldn't describe my mood. I was excited. It was one of the best moments of my life, not because I got the job, which I loved to get it, but because I knew that I could do hard things in English as well. And my efforts have paid back. So, if you have an English interview coming up, I'm gonna give you some advice, some tips that you're gonna need them. Before anything, if you can guess what are the questions might be, prepare the answers before going to the interview. Second, practice those answers by speaking out loud, speaking with a friend, or even just talking to yourself in front of a mirror. Third, learn some flexible phrases. You can use them in every situations, in different situations. So don't focus on just using one phrase. Try to learn some more phrases, flexible phrases to use them in different situations. And the most important tip I can give you is believe in yourself. Whether you get the job or not, you have to believe in yourself. If you get it, congratulations. And if you don't, I'm sure there are plenty of other opportunities out there waiting for you. So just believe in yourself and be confident. There is no need to use perfect grammar rules or complex words, vocabularies. So now it's your part. Tell me in the comments, what's the scariest English situation you've ever been in? I'd love to hear about your stories in the comment section. If you liked this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe and share it with a friend. By doing this, you're gonna help me a lot.